Hey guys, George Diamondyard Sports Cards coming at you with another video. It's been a little while and I'm glad to be back. I've been really busy with different shows throughout the West and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that. I have some really cool Jackie Robinson stuff to share with you, and I just want to talk about the community a little bit and all the YouTubers I've had the pleasure of hanging out with recently. But it's been a little while. So basically my spring review has been, I've been missing out on Hobby Hump Day. My kids are in baseball. One of my sons is in baseball, one's in tennis. Anyway, but we've been doing a lot of shows. So February was the West Coast Card Show in Ontario, which was awesome. Then there was the Arizona State Card Show in March. And then recently the Front Row Show here in Phoenix. And then we're going to be doing Front Row in San Diego. So just kind of going through a lot of cards. And the truth is, you know, as you start selling some cards and doing the dealing thing, that you take fewer and fewer things into your personal collection. But I do have a couple things here, and they're Jackie Robinson items and a few other funny things. And one Jackie Robinson card that is an example of why you buy the card and not the grade. The card is spectacular. The grade is not what you think it would be. Now, anyway, we'll get to that in a second. But YouTubers that I ran into this spring, I mean, the John Keating was in town, I believe it was Phoenix Open time, and I walked into my local card shop here in Phoenix, Arizona, and there's John Keating. Talked to him. Went to the West Coast Card Show in Ontario, partnered up with my buddy Eric Grimy Mitz, but also LA Collection Levon, who's always great out there in Burbank. Geez, Mikey was there. Rick Acosta hung out at the booth quite a bit. Then we also had in the spring training show here, during spring training, Ken's Cardboard reached out. So Ken and I met up at a local show in Tempe and hung out there, and it was awesome to see him. And then Chris from Missouri was out here to see the Kansas City Royals with his wife. And so Chris and I ended up hooking up, and he did a video about this, but we went to a card shop, went to a local show, and then hit up some Mexican food. And boy, that guy is a hoot. He is great. So Chris, that was great hanging out with you. Talked to Nate on the phone about some Barry Bonds stuff. Came across a lot of high grade 80s stuff. Among that stuff was a Tiffany 86 Topps Traded Barry Bonds that was browned. And I was like, I can't buy this card. And I talked to Nate, and he says these 86 Topps Traded Tiffany's, if they're exposed to light, they go brown, which kind of is disappointing if you're going to display your cards. But it was great to have a person in the community like Nate to go to for that. Anyway, so we had also recently the Arizona State, or the Front Row Show here was really good. There's a lot of Pokemon, and there's kind of out west here, kind of a pushback from vintage guys about all the Pokemon that's at these shows. But that's just part of the environment now. It just is. And so we have to accept that. We have bigger shows, we have more people. And so, you know, if you're looking for vintage, you know where you to go for your dealers. And there's big Pikachu balloons and Charizard balloons hanging around. But it's just kind of part of the present state of the hobby. Which, by the way, the present state of the hobby, in my opinion, is very good. Now, the economy is very unpredictable right now, as we all know. I know Baseball Collector Mike did a video on this, but what I see in the hobby is there are people, lots of people going to these shows, and lots of people buying different types of cards, whether it's vintage or modern. And anyway, I just want to talk about that a little bit. So let's look at some cards and some items. So here we go, guys. I've talked enough about stuff. So we're going to look at some cards. First card I want to show you, this is a woman, Mamie Peanut Johnson, played for the Indianapolis Clowns, pitcher, utility second base. She is one of maybe one or two women ever to pitch in a male baseball professional game and win a game, or pitch in a game. Mamie Peanut Johnson. And we have I noticed there's a lot of excitement about women's basketball, the Caitlin Clarks. There's a lot of females getting in the hobby, and they're collecting a lot of different unique female stuff. We need to always remember the Trailblazers, and Mamie Peanut Johnson, who played with Henry Aaron, I believe, is one of those. So here's an autographed Mamie Peanut Johnson card that I picked up. And miscuts. This is a great miscut card. Sometimes you see cards and you're like, man, this card's beautiful. And look at the color on this Sandy Koufax. There is no enhancement. This almost looks fake. It's so blue. But anyway, I just saw this miscut at at a show and I had to pick it up. Sometimes, I collect miscuts too. So this is interesting. I had this Jackie Robinson program, and I'm gonna have to move it back because it's a big program. I did a video on it. A gentleman who actually got the autograph himself with his father when he was 5 years old at Wrigley Field sold me this program, and here's the program. There's the Jackie signature. It has Santo on it too. So it's from 1965 when Robinson did the Game of the Week. I think the only season he did, and his father, gentleman's father, told him as Jackie was doing interviews on the field, we have to get that man's autograph. He was walking from Wrigley Field through the crowd to the media box, and his father grabbed him and they got his signature. Now, it was an auction house letter. This is a learning experience, auction house letter. With it, some great autograph guys in the community had messaged me or on YouTube that I needed to get it authenticated, which I did. And the letter came back, and it was authentic. The multi-sign program from Jackie and Santo. So I was really happy to get this. I knew it was authentic, but anyway, some people, it's interesting because it's really the issue on this. If you're familiar with Jackie's signatures, is the R. Sometimes it's like this, sometimes it's like that. The Jackie is good, this looks good, but it just depends. There's plenty of signatures where it's the R goes like a swoop here versus like a bump. But anyway, really happy to get this program, especially from the gentleman who got it when he was a kid. And, he sold it to me, and he just said, I've had it my whole life. I want somebody else to enjoy it. And I said, well, I really, really would be honored if you sold it to me. And he did. So that's going on the PC. Something else I bought recently I thought was really cool to show was this photo. It's a Jackie Robinson Type 1. It says, Johnny Cusick, Chicago Cubs shortstop, slides in the second base as he is forced from the first half of a double play in the second inning of the game with the Dodgers in Brooklyn's Ebbets Field, May 9th, 1951. Jackie Robinson, Brooklyn second baseman, throws. My camera is losing it. Throws to first baseman Gil Hodges in time to get Wayne Terwilliger for the double play. Terwilliger has grounded to Robbie, who stopped at second to force on Cusick. Anyway, so the Dodgers shortstop Pee Wee Reese, Dodgers won 5-4. So this is a really cool Type 1 photo. A friend, a dealer who does, I guess I'd say, oddball stuff. Sorry, Rick. Had this. His name's Ryan, and so it's not in a slab, but it is a Type 1, and it's just a beautiful image. Just action galore. Pee Wee right behind Jackie at Ebbets Field, and this is the letter from PSA of authenticity. Type 1 worldwide original news service photo, worldwide photo 7x9. Now, just to let you guys know, 7x9s. Not that they're always Type 1s, but 7x9s have a much higher likelihood of being Type 1s than 8x10s. That just tended to be the case. So anyway, or 5x7s. Beautiful Robinson Type 1 photo right there. So real happy to add that to the personal collection. And again, I do move a lot of stuff, but having stuff in the personal collection is kind of searching for Jackie stuff. This was a card I picked up in a holder that you guys might be familiar with, and please give me feedback if you have any. This is a CSG slab, and they do, I think, apparently they're the second most active grader now because of Pokemon. But there's a vintage dealer, I think it's Stark's Cards, who has a lot of these, and he's got a PSA and SGC, and he's a longtime dealer with high-grade cards, and he says these guys are pretty good. And when I looked at this card that I picked up from him, I thought they were too. I mean, it's just a gorgeous, gorgeous card. Is it a PSA 6.5? Maybe. Maybe not. Is it an SGC 6.5? Maybe. Maybe not. But it was a gorgeous card, and I trust him. He even said to me they were kicking back about 15 to 25% of the cards, saying they were trimmed, or they're being really selective, I guess is what I'm saying. But anyway, so this is a CSG 56 whiteback Jackie in a 6.5. Really good slab, too. Really like this. Am I going to go with CSG all the time? No, this is kind of an experiment, but it's a really nice card, and I couldn't say no to it. Last card, sorry about this, Lou Rock. I know Lou Rock is looking for one of these. This is an example of the card, not the grade. This is a 1949 Bowman Jackie Robinson. I picked it up at the Front Row show from Dan, the Front Row promoter, who is always fair and friendly and just a great guy. And you can look at the card here. and see the card. That is the Jackie Robinson. I'm not showing you the grade because this is a perfect example of by the card, not the grade, which is a 2.5. This card is a blazer, and just really, really happy to pick it up. I do have other copies, but this one just spoke to me. I mean, it's so red. There's really not much wrong with it at all. There's a little wrinkle there. Doesn't break anything, and it's just a gorgeous, gorgeous card. But anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in, and it's great to be back, and I'll be doing more videos shortly here. Have a great Wednesday, and keep collecting.